Got everything stripped down, taken apart. Got all my extra nuts and bolts and pins and clips cleaned already. Uh, I've actually got this guy pretty clean already. Did that, and I also cleaned the pistons in there. So just to give you a little before and after. This is what I was working with. I let these soak in kerosene for a couple days just to get everything loosened up. As you can see, they're still pretty gross in there, especially in those edges where the seal sits. And you want to make sure you get all that crap out of there, or else it's not gonna be very worthwhile to do all this. So first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and scrub this down with kerosene. And the reason I like using kerosene is it doesn't evaporate nearly as fast as brake cleaner. That allows you to, really scrub it around, soaks in all the nooks and crannies, and just penetrates nicely. And again, it doesn't evaporate, which makes it go a lot farther. So I'm gonna start scrubbing. Okay, so I got this one scrubbed and cleaned out with brake cleaner just to kind of rinse everything out of there. And you can see it's still pretty gross in those grooves in there. The little toothbrush and kerosene just didn't really cut it. So I'm going to have to use something just a little bit coarser. Now, you don't want to stick any sharp tools or anything metal in there that's gonna scratch up the insides of those cylinders. What I'm gonna use actually is this Dremel bit right here. Now this is brass, and brass is really the only thing that you'd want to use on something like this. Brass is soft enough that it's not gonna scratch. So you just want to be real gentle. I'm just gonna go around the edges in there and hopefully get everything out. Now this one cleaned up pretty good, so I'm confident that that'll work just fine. But yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so use that little brass brush and got most of that gunk out of there. It's looking a lot better than it was, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use my little buffing wheel on the Dremel and go in there and just polish everything out, and that's gonna help me get into that main seal right in there a little better. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so got these all cleaned out with brake cleaner. Cleaned up pretty nice. As you can see, there's not really much left in there. I mean, they're not perfect, but if I run my finger in there, it's all pretty smooth. No, nothing that I can feel with my finger. So that's really all I'm going for. Got those grooves for the seals nice and clean. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the pistons. So as you can see, those are pretty gross. Super hard to get out. Took me quite a while, a lot of wiggling, PB blaster. Yeah, it's kind of a nightmare. Never want to have to do that again. These ones, you can see they cleaned up pretty nice. A lot of pitting around this outside edge here. Don't know, yeah, you can see that all right. So yeah, a lot of pitting, but nice and smooth. Again, nothing you can feel with your finger. I used a little bit of sandpaper, real fine grit, and then also fine steel wool to go around the outsides and clean them up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do these two. Alright, so I got these cleaned up, and they're still really pitted. I mean, there's no way to get that out of there. Ideally, you would want to just get new ones. These are, I mean, beyond saving, but I'm on a budget. I don't really feel like spending 120 bucks on just a few of these things. So I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope I cleaned them up good enough that those seals that I'm going to put in there last a while. So yeah, we'll see what happens.